from Washington, D.C. But first, Roland, let me give you your props. You were the only one that was covering the elections from the black perspective. Yeah. TV1 didn't have it. BET didn't have it, but Roland Martin did. And thank you, Roland, for helping us understand what the hell was going on last night.
Well, I appreciate that.
From Washington, D.C., Roland Martin, good morning.
Tom, I appreciate that. Bottom line is there can at least be one night black folks are informed of the issues, which is why we did it, man. Had about 25, 30 black analysts. Actually, we had about 40. And it was the outlet for people like Mark Morial, Reverend Barber, Latasha Brown, all these black folks to call and give it, Rashad Robinson to give their perspective. When Desmond Meade, when they won a proposition in Florida, we were the first people he interviewed, he talked to. He said, you were going to be first before everybody else. And so we certainly appreciate that. Nice. So Roland Martin Unfiltered, we thank everybody who watched. We're going to have more stuff today at 6 p.m. Eastern. So go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. So let's get into this thing, folks. Let's get into it. Look, there are a lot of people who are sad this morning. Andrew Gillum did not win the governorship in Florida. Stacey Abrams is fighting for her life in Georgia. Ben Jealous did not win in Maryland. But I need black people to understand that last night was a good night. Here's why. Overall, Democrats take control of the United States House of Representatives, which now means 5 African Americans will be running committees. Most important, the House Financial Committee. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is now the chairman. The government accountability, more than likely, Elijah Cummings is going to be the person leading the investigations of the Trump campaign as a result of that. Homeland Security, Benny Thompson. And so that is critically important. You also potentially, depending upon what happens with the speakership, you're going to have black folks vying to become Speaker of the House. Jim Clyburn of South Carolina. Either will be the Speaker make him run for the Speaker of the House, depending upon how many votes Nancy Pelosi gets, or go after Majority Leader, the number 2 position among Democrats. Why? Because Congressional Black Caucus, Tom, now they're already the largest caucus among Democrats, but they got bigger last night. Huge victories. Joe Negesi won in Colorado. Ayanna Pressley won in Massachusetts. Johanna Hayes won in Connecticut. Antonio Delgado won in New York. Stephen Horsford, he returns to Congress. He won in Nevada. And the big one, she has taken the lead over Karen Handel. Lucy McBath is ahead in Georgia. That is shocking. Of course, Handel, beat Ossoff in that runoff, and McBath clawed her way back and has now gone up more than 300 votes in Georgia. She will be, and so if that holds, she goes to Congress. But not just that. You have a loss of 2 black folks in Congress, but they're Republican. Mia Love lost in Utah. In San Antonio, Tom, this was stunning.
That was big.
Around 9 p.m., all of the networks, including Associated Press, called it saying Will Hurd was going to get reelected. But you cannot win unless they count all the votes. He even gave a victory speech. They counted the votes. His opponent, Ortiz Jones, she went ahead by more than 300 votes. She's the winner in that race. There'll be a recount. So all those media people had to pull that projection saying Will Hurd won. But also, African-American won. We now have a black Attorney General, Aaron Ford, from Houston, Texas A&M graduate, leading as for the Attorney General in Nevada. Kwame Raoul beat Erica Arnold, another African-American. He is the Attorney General in Illinois. Keith Ellison, Attorney General in Minnesota. Letitia James, Attorney General in New York State. Those are important positions. Ballot initiatives. Big props, 1.4 million people in Florida who are formerly incarcerated now have the right to vote because of Desmond Meade and Sheena Meade. Congratulations to them. That's going to change Florida in 2020. So Prop 4 passes. In Michigan, the ballot initiative passed to create now a bipartisan commission to draw congressional lines in that state, no longer controlled by Republicans in the legislature or even the governor. That passed. Second, automatic voting passed in Michigan. That will also change the game. Thirdly, the marijuana initiative passed there as well. Only the bad news in North Carolina, what happened there was the initiative to put voter ID in the state constitution. That thing also passed. And so Reverend Barber, we talked to him last night, and he said, look, that's going to make it harder. That was the initiative that they fought and went to the Supreme Court. Well, that initiative passed as well. And so, Tom, and also the 19 black women who are running for judge in Harris County all won last night.
That's amazing.
All won.
Yes. 19 black women won.
All 19. There are 19 new judges in Harris County, all black women. And also, Colin Allred, former NFL player, beat Pete Sessions. That's another African-American. So my bad there. So that's 7 black folks who won last night to members of Congress.
Wow. Wow,
so
is
again,
encouraging.
I know, again, people, we were focused on those large races. So what does that now mean, Tom? I keep telling people the bench is now expanded. Look, 10 years ago, the number of black people. Yeah, I did say bench.
Okay.
The number of black people elected statewide, it was rare.
Yeah.
Also, with Pritzker becoming the governor in Illinois, African-American is lieutenant general there. You already have the sister who's lieutenant general in New Jersey. You got 2 black Republicans, a lieutenant general, one in Maryland, another one in Kentucky. You had that last night. And so I know people, again, we wanted to see at least one African-American become governor. But you now have African-Americans who are in these statewide positions that will play a role. Again, that's a bench. Those are the folks who are going to be running for future office as well. You add with Justin Fairfax, the lieutenant governor already in Virginia. And so, folks, look, morning is here, but I need people to understand that there were critical races that we did win last night. Black America did well last night.
And we showed up. When will you know how we showed up? When will the numbers be in to say that we showed up in record numbers?
They're going to be bringing that stuff over the next 48 hours to a week to begin to see what precincts they came from, what parts they came from. We know how we did in early voting in Florida, but we'll really be seeing that. Forget those exit polls. We'll be studying actual data over the next 24 hours to a week to understand where we voted, how we voted, and what kind of increases we saw.
Good job, Roland. Good
Appreciate
job. Yeah, I appreciate you.